Hey guys, welcome to my channel and welcome back to my channel. This is Shauna P Talks, and let's talk about David. How you spell his name? Well, this is like how he spelled his stage name. DV, what is it? DV4D or D4VD, whatever. But I came on here just to talk a bit because I was just sitting here thinking about, the David and Celeste story was not a story, is real life. And I'm like, man, I was at first, y'all, I was like, okay. Before like some details came out, more details came out about the young man and young lady Celeste. I was like, okay, well, maybe, I'm like, is it possible somebody could have set him up? What is it, like blackmailed him, whatever you called it, frame? Is it possibly that somebody framed David? And I was like, I don't know, because I'm like, okay, I'm like, this is before, we found out that, from what I Googled and from what I read, the court documents did say that David was the last person who he was the last person seen in his car. I guess obviously, the detectives and, the detectives, the investigators seen that David was the last person who drove the Tesla. This is before, like, I found that out, because I was like, dang, like, do they got video of who was the last person who drove the car? Like, who was driving the car? Like, is there any cameras? Because I'm like, everybody and their mama have cameras on their homes. So I'm like, nobody caught somebody getting in and out the car. Like, it gotta be some type of video somewhere. It's a neighborhood. They gotta, somebody has to have them or the person who drove the car on video or something. Okay. Well, come to find out, a couple of days ago, it is in the court documents. I Googled it along with more details of a lot of other stuff, that basically David was the last person they seen getting out the car, driving the car. Obviously, like I said, they must have it on video, a camera, whatever, or on somebody's Ring camera. I don't know, but they got it. And, now that detail came out, I'm like, no, nobody probably didn't frame him, okay? Because if you was the last person driving a Tesla, her parts were found, she was found in your car, right? You would, when you drove that car and when, they caught you on camera moving the car 2 blocks away from where your home is at, you would have smelled something really bad to make you say, what is that smell in my car? You would have investigated. You would have opened the trunk. You would have been looking under the seats like, did I spill something? I can't remember. Did I eat something in here or leave some bad food? You would have been thinking to yourself, what is that smell in my car? You would have investigated, and once you investigated and looked around, popped the trunk, you would have seen these bags in your car like, oh my God, what is this? And you would have like called the police, like, I don't know what's going on, something smell bad, like something dead in my car, can y'all just come take a look? But you didn't do that. You drove your car, parked it 2 blocks away from where you live, and got out or whatever and went on about your day and kept living your life or whatever. And I'm like, from the evidence that they have, they're saying that they believe that David, murdered Celeste April 23rd-ish, okay, of last year. They found her in his Tesla, in September September. Yeah, September of last year. So you've been holding on to this body for months and months. And you mean to tell me you've been driving this Tesla, you haven't smelled this smell in your car, you was the last person in the car, okay? You parked the car, you would have smelled something. So that's why I'm like, yep, he did it. For sure he did it. And just reading like all the other, you know, stuff that they got on him, like in the documents, I'm like, yeah, it's not looking too good for him, you know. And like I said, at first I was like, well, maybe somebody framed him, because why would he kill somebody and keep the body and the body parts for months and months and months, like in a hot car? Or, you know, why would he just keep it? Because you will be trying to like bury the body, you will be trying to get rid of the body, you will be trying to burn the body as soon as the murder happened, right? I wanted to say smurder because I don't know how YouTube is going to, you know, take what I'm saying, but okay. So I'm like, think about it, like, you know, like anybody who would have done that, they'll be like, let me get rid of the body quick. They just want to get it out the way. Like, I can't have this body lingering around. Common sense to tell you, okay, this is a dead body, it's gonna rot, people go smell it. If I got it around my house, let me get rid of this. Like, you just want to be done with it, okay? Why would you just keep the body like that? That is just crazy to me. Like, y'all, like, when you just think about that, like, this young man kept the body for months. Like, what is, I don't know. Like, was you trying to keep it as a souvenir? Like, that's some sick stuff. Like, who keeps a body just lingering around their home, just in a car for months and months and months? And then, you know, in the video that's floating around, he has friends over his house. This is after the murder of Celeste. And he's on live, on stream. And he's like, oh, excuse my bathroom or whatever. I know it smell in there. I took a boo-boo basically 2 hours ago. And obviously the smell must have been lingering around. Like, it must have been coming into the house, because like I said, the body was, I guess, parked outside, and you know, the smell probably was just all around his home. And I don't know, that's just weird. Like, why would you just keep a dead body like just around for months? He had you know, supposedly murdered her in April. So May, June, July, August, September, 5 months later, they end up finding a body in his car, because the car got towed from where he parked it, and the tow yard people like, hey, it's something smelling, and it's flies all around. So that's why the police end up coming out, and boom, dead body in the car. So I don't know, but yeah, y'all, like, what y'all, this is just, I don't know. I've been on this case. I know a lot of people has been on this case. And I was just sitting here thinking. I was just like thinking about it all over again. I'm like, that's just weird. Like, why would you do that? Like, you know, if you wouldn't, you see, he didn't have to worry about getting caught messing with a young girl if he would have just found a young lady his age, you know. Yeah, and basically, you know, like I talked about it in my last video a few days ago, my other video that I did. If you guys haven't watched it, you can go watch it. I was talking about the David Celeste situation a few days ago. I made a video about it, and I was just saying, like, I mean, you was 18 and she was 13 when y'all started y'all sexual relationship, and Why not just get a young lady that's your age, that's like 18 or 19? You wouldn't have to sneak around and be with a 13-year-old. That don't make sense to me. And you already, you a young man, you making good money, you starting off this with your career, and you're doing good for yourself, and you just messed it all up. Like, you should have just, like, why not talk to a girl that's your age, where you don't have to sneak around and try to hide her because she's your age, she's of age. I don't know, was it like a control thing? If he was just felt like, oh, let me talk to this young girl, I can have control over her mind or whatever. And that may be the case. But yeah, guys, but I just wanted to get on here and just say that, like, at first I really thought that somebody like set David up or whatever. But I mean, if they see you getting out the car, you was the last person driving the car, you did it. Because there's no way you would have got in that car and not smelled flesh, rotten flesh. You would have investigated your car. I know I would have. If I would have jumped in my car, I would have investigated my car. Like, oh my God, somebody must be framing me. It's a smell in my car. Can y'all come check it out? Whoop-de-whoop-whoop. Police would have came, and then, they would have found what they found. And I would have been like, oh my God, like, I didn't have no idea. I just smelled the smell, like I knew something wasn't right. But you didn't do that, because you the person who did, you did what you did to her, and you knew that dead body was in there. So of course you not go be shocked and say, oh my God, what's that smell? Let me call the police so they can come check it out. Of course. But yeah, it's sad. It's a sad, sad situation. And yeah. Oh, and another thing I thought about, if somebody really was framing him, they would have probably, did what they did to the young lady. They probably would have killed her, and they probably would have hurried up and told themselves, okay, I'm going to do this, but I'm going to frame David. Let me stuff her body in his car, and let me alert the police or something and tell them, like, hey, somebody got a body in this car. Check it out. They would have been trying to, like, get him caught, like, as soon as they murdered the person. Why wait like 5 months later to, like, months and months later to put her body in his car? Like, y'all get what I'm saying? So yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, it's very unfortunate. And he got lawyers. I don't know how he's going to wiggle his way out of this. I mean, if it's a miracle, but it's not looking good for him at all. I was watching, like, one of his videos about 2 years ago. He was with his family, like, when he first, like, started kind of taking off with his music career. And because he started off on YouTube, I think, first, just making videos and playing Fortnite and all of that. And he was starting to, like, take off like 2 years ago. He's about 19, and it was an interview that was done on him by somebody, another person. And his family is there, his mom, his dad. They even spoke on camera, and they showed his little sister and his little brother. David even took the person that was interviewing him back to his church, where him and his family go to church. And he just seemed like a good kid. His parents seem like they are very good parents, that they're loving parents, and you could tell, like, they raised him, like, in the right way. You could just tell that they were good parents to him. Okay. And I was like, wow, it was like a little wholesome interview with him and his family. And I was just like, dang, what went wrong? What went wrong? And it was a guy in his church, and he was saying how much David helps around the church. And yeah, so I was like, wow. Like, I know his parents are very disappointed in him. Very, of course, that's their son. They're going to be by his side. They're going to support him. But I know, like, deep down inside as a parent, they're, like, very disappointed. And, hey, you raise your kids, once they turn into adults, you let them out there in the world on their own. And from there, they have to make their own decisions, moral decisions, whether they're moral or not. It's like, hey, you did what you did as a parent, the best that you can, but you cannot control everything and all the decisions that your children make. You just can't. And I feel bad for his parents. I really do. The little girl Celeste did not deserve what she got, because, she basically, the motive is basically, from what the documents say, he basically took her out because he knew he was about to really blow up. His album was coming. No, he was going on tour like in a few more days. When he killed Celeste, it was like his tour was coming up in a few more days or a few more weeks. He was going on radio interviews, and his album was coming out they said that they think he murdered her on April 23rd. His new album was about to come out, I think, on the 25th. So he had like a lot good going for him, and she got into an argument with him. It shows they were going backwards and forth on the text messages, and she was basically threatening him. Hey, I'm going to expose you. I'm going to let everybody know you talking to me, which is an underage girl. And, like the detectives and them was saying, they really think that basically he did this because of, he knew Celeste was going to mess his reputation up. And because once it came out, she told everybody that he was, messing with her, it was going to like ruin his career. And yeah, so that's the motive right there. And from the stuff that they have public that we can read and we see, that what we already know is like mind blowing. Just imagine when the full trial start, it's going to be a lot more things come out about David and Celeste, the details, because they will give you a little bit before the trial, but when the trial start, y'all, oh my goodness, we're going to get more details. But we just have to wait and see. And yeah, guys, look, it's a sad situation. Yeah, but that's all, y'all. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, leave some comments, at the bottom, and and just let me know how y'all feel about this. And yeah, I will get back with you guys. All right, until next time.